Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. So this is my ultrasonic cleaner, and what I've done is it's a close-up of the bath so it will show the bearing being cleaned. I've had to move away from my light studio so the light's not as good as it would be in there, so I just apologise for that. The camera might pop in and out of focus quite a lot because it's not got enough light. So this is the ultrasonic bath, and what I've done is I've filled it to about ½ an inch from the top with boiling water. As you can see, it's all moving around inside there because that's boiling water, slowly cooling down. So this is the bearing I'll be putting in there. If you can see it, there's light grease, lumps of grease all between the race and inner and outer bearing, cage, all around the cage and that. So there we go, that's what it looks like in the water. So let's go ahead and start it. So I don't know if you can see that. What it looks like is it's starting to smoke, but it's not smoking. That's actually the grease melting out of the bearing. So yeah, it looks like it's smoking, but it's not. So it's actually tearing the grease out of the bearing in all the little spaces as well that you couldn't get a toothbrush in or anything like that. So this is set on 50 watts. As you can see, it looks like it's on fire, but it isn't. That's the high frequency sound creating cavitation and then collapsing and pulling all the debris out with them. Like I said, it's going out of focus. It's probably the steam that's making it go out of focus. There we go. So that's a minute done. As you can see, it's done quite a lot of work. Let's go ahead and do another minute. So the first minute really breaks all the small bits loose, and then it just keeps going. So it does help if you have a toothbrush. So what you can do, sorry about this, is then put the toothbrush in and just rotate the bearing. I did actually find a sweet spot in this ultrasonic bath that when they were almost perfectly clean, everything would spin around and rotate by itself and clean itself even more. As you can see, it still looks like it's smoking because there's still a lot of grease in there. So you can just slowly move it around with the toothbrush, and any really thick globs of grease you can just ease out with the toothbrush, just to make sure both sides are clean. By when you take it out, you can turn the bearing round and see the other side. Now the water's not as clear as it was before because that's all the grease and muck that's come out of the bearing. So I won't do any more. You've got a good idea of what's going on there. So let's just go through the details. Let's just get the steam out of the way. I think it's struggling. See if it'll focus on that. Yeah, so it's out of focus. There's nothing I can do. It won't focus for some reason. This is the problem I've been having all day with this. With such a low light, it's really struggling. So if I just hold it there, hopefully it will focus. So this is the way I do it. There are other cleaners and other ways of doing it. First I use boiling water. Be very careful as you could get scalded. And use a toothbrush to move big lumps of grease. I use tap water as I clean so many bearings that anything else is expensive compared to free. Other options are deionized water. This is water that has no impurities, designed for use with car batteries and steam irons. It is available from supermarkets in the car section. Don't reuse the water. Let's just show you the bottle. This is the deionized water that I've got. I don't use it, but it's about £1.50 or £2 a bottle, I think. There we go. Just show you what it is. Deionized water for batteries and steam irons, and for cleaning fidget spinner bearings. So that won't have any rubbish in the water, whereas this tap water does. So deionized water, this is water that has no impurities, designed for use with car batteries and steam irons. It is available from supermarkets in the car section, so don't reuse the water. So the tap water has impurities in it, so does bottled water, and when dried they can slow down your bearings, so all the little impurities in the water can dry, and when you spin it, it sounds gritty. But I'm happy with the bearings with just tap water. So it is impossible to get the bearing 100% clean. There's tiny fibres will always get in the bearing. There is nothing you can do about that. So whatever you do, do not pat the bearing dry with paper towels or cloths. The bearing will fill up with particles again. Spin it dry, so that's what I'd use these bull ties for. So I'll lock it with my finger on that side, and then I'll spin it as fast as I can. Obviously it's not clean enough to spin really well at the moment because it's just showing you what I do. So I spin it dry and then leave it to dry over the day, or you can wash it with 100% pure alcohol and throw the alcohol away. So then I go ahead and store it in a Ziploc bag, if you can see that. So I'll store it in that if I'm not going to use it. I prefer no oil at all in my bearings that I use for fidget spinners. So if you use them as skateboard bearings, you will need to lube them, otherwise they will rust and potentially seize. So the steel bearings without oil can rust very quickly. It is up to you to make sure they don't rust. So don't complain to me that your bearings have gone rusty. I've warned you. You know, I don't have a problem at all with it. What I did do was a video earlier, and I had a really nice start of the video where it did a nice clean of a bearing, better than this one. So what I'll do is I'll put that on the end just now, and you'll be able to see that at the end of the just after this. So that's it, guys. So I hope it helped. Hope it made you decide that you wanted one of these cleaners, because they are good value for money for what they do. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and check back soon. Cheers. So let's go ahead and switch it on. It may get noisy. There we go. If you can see that, I just move it backwards and forwards. So it'll probably go out of shot because of the vibrations on the water. So as you can see, this grease is starting to come out. The boiling water is definitely helping. I can move it to one side. So that's all the dirt, debris and grease coming out. All I'm using is just tap water in here. I'm trying to move it around so it's clear.